The Golden Gate Bridge is one of the most famous engineering achievements of the 20th century. It was built between January 5, 1933, and May 27, 1937, and at the time it was the longest and tallest suspension bridge in the world. Here's a step-by-step detailed process of how it was built. 1. Planning and design, 1920s, 1930s. The Golden Gate Strait, the waterway entrance to San Francisco Bay, was considered impossible to bridge because of strong tides and currents, deep waters, over 300 feet in places, frequent fog and strong winds. Engineer Joseph Strauss proposed the bridge, but his initial design was modified by consulting engineers Leon Moisseiff, structural theory, Irving Morrow, architectural design, and Charles Alton Ellis, mathematics and calculations. The final design, suspension bridge, 4,200 feet, 1,280 m main span, Art Deco-style towers. 2. Preparing the foundations. The first step was to build massive concrete anchorages on both shores to hold the suspension cables. Workers had to build caissons, watertight chambers, and use dynamite to remove underwater rock for the tower foundations. South Tower, easier, on land. North Tower, much harder, in the middle of the strait with strong currents. Divers and crews worked on a rocky island base called Lime Point. 3. Building the towers. 2 towers were constructed using steel fabricated by Bethlehem Steel. Each tower rose 746 feet, 227 m, above the water. Towers were built section by section with cranes and derricks, bolted and riveted together. The height was necessary to support the long suspension cables. Spinning the main cables. Once towers were complete, engineers created catwalks across the span to help workers spin the cables. The 2 main suspension cables are made up of 27,572 individual steel wires each, bundled into a diameter of 36.5 inches, 0.93 m. Workers used a process called cable spinning. A wheel carried wires back and forth across the strait, layering them until the full cable was complete. This was extremely dangerous as workers balanced high above the ocean in strong winds. 5. Hanging the vertical suspenders. After the main cables were clamped and anchored, vertical cables called suspenders were hung down from the main cables. These suspenders would hold up the roadway deck. 6. Constructing the roadway deck. Steel trusses and roadway sections were lifted into place by cranes hung from the cables. Sections were joined together and riveted. Workers carefully balanced loads so the deck would not sway or twist. 7. Safety measures. Chief Engineer Joseph Strauss insisted on safety improvements. Workers wore hard hats, unusual at the time. A safety net was strung under the bridge deck. It saved 19 men's lives, who became known as the Halfway to Hell Club. Despite this, 11 men died during construction. 8. Completion construction lasted just over 4 years, ahead of schedule. The bridge officially opened on May 27, 1937, with a pedestrian day where nearly 200,000 people walked across before it opened to cars. Final cost, $35 million, about $700 million today. Key stats. Length, 8,981 feet, 2,737 m main span, 4,200 feet, 1,280 m. Height of towers, 746 feet, 227 m. Total weight, original, 894,500 tons.